So we've done conversions between mass and mole now. Now we're going to take a look at this side of town. We're going to be looking between Moleville and Particle Town. And remember, the link between Moleville and Particle Town is Avogadro Avenue and 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, the chemist's dozen. So if I ask you a question like, how many cookies do I have if I have 8.5 dozen cookies? Well, hopefully, of course, in your mind, 12 is the magic number for a dozen. So if I have 8.5 dozen, I multiply by 12, and that tells me that I have 102 cookies. Well, when we do these particle questions, it's just like that, but using the chemist's dozen, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So when we look at this first problem, how many molecules are in 8.5 moles of carbon monoxide, it's the same question, just in chemistry terms. So if I have 8.5 moles of carbon dioxide, if I multiply by Avogadro's number, that will tell me how many particles, how many molecules I have. If you haven't seen this notation before, capital E means times 10 to the, and you should really try to use that function on your calculator. If you have a graphing calculator, you would type in 8.5, you'd hit the times button and you'd see the asterisk on your screen. Then you'd type in 6.02, and then you want to hit the second button and then the comma button, because above the comma is two little capital E's. And so when you do this on your graphing calculator, that capital E will pop up and you just type in 23. On a regular calculator, usually there's a button, EE, like on the calculators in my room. Above the number 7 is the button, capital E, or it could be somewhere else. It could be EXP. If you have any questions with your calculator and calculations, please come and see me, and I'll make sure we're getting this right. Because when I do this properly on the calculator, my answer should be 5.1 times 10 to the 24th molecules. So if you're getting 20 to the 5th or something different, then we're typing it in wrong. And yes, you could write this answer as 5.1 E24 molecules. Just make sure that that E is big and capitalized. On the map to Moleville, what we did is we took 8.5 moles in Moleville, we went to Particle Town, multiplying by Avogadro's number. But again, you can reference the dozen in your head. 8.5 dozen times 12 tells you how many cookies. 8.5 moles times the chemist's dozen tells you how many molecules. And of course, we can go the reverse route down Avogadro Avenue. If I have 5.74 times 10 to the 25th copper ions, I can figure out how many moles that is. If I had 144 cookies and I wanted to know how many dozen, I would divide by 12 and it would tell me 12 dozen. So if I have 5.74 times 10 to the 25th copper ions, divide by the chemist's dozen, Avogadro's number, it will give me 95.3 moles. And again, if you can't get that number on your calculator, make sure you work with me. On the final note, in my starting measurement, 5.74, there's 3 numbers. That's why I rounded my answer to 3 numbers. That's that rule of thumb we've been talking about. So that's how we work the particle to mole conversions in chemistry.